As we navigate the rapidly evolving education landscape, it's essential to come together and tackle the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. From tech integration to inclusive learning environments, let's explore, discuss, and learn from each other. With this, let's get out for our first panel discussion of the day. The topic is Redefining Pedagogy, Modern Teaching Methods, and the subtopics of this topic are Project-Based Learning, PBL, Implementing PBL to foster critical thinking, problem-solving, and real-world application of knowledge. Blended learning approaches combining online and in-person instructions to create a flexible and comprehensive learning environment. Third is collaborative learning techniques, promoting teamwork and communication skills through collaborative projects and peer learning. To deliberate on the same, I would like to call on stage our panelists, 𝗙𝗶𝗹𝗹𝗁, Director Principal, Silver Wings Universal School, Zinapur, 𝗟𝗶𝗹𝗶𝗲, Director AGI Global School, Jalandhar, 𝗙cie_HIH_𝗲𝗰𝗁, Principal New GMT Public School, Batapuar, Ludhiana, 𝗟𝗶𝗹𝗶𝗲, Principal The Unionized World School, Jharkhand, Rosie Jain, Principal Shifali International School, Ludhiana, Dr. Kritika Kaushal, Principal Eco International School, Mohali, Sunira Sharma, Principal Golden Era School, Patiala, Parulnath Pal, Director MM International School, Ambala. I request everybody to please take their seats. Harleen Kaur Varai, Deputy City Coordinator, Ludhiana, Principal, Nathpal Sagar Public School, Gilroy, Ludhiana. I request everybody to please give a huge round of applause for all the panelists and the moderator present here. They are going to share their insights on the given topic. Thank you so much.
Thank you. First of all, very good afternoon now. Probably it is after 12. I really thank the Time2Grow for giving us a platform. Beautiful topic. Very thought-provoking one, and we've got really very good experts here. There's Jeet ma'am here, who's already been a resource person for CBSE, done a lot of work for CBSE. She's been there as making the manuals, various manuals. She's really worked hard behind that. We call her, probably it will not be wrong to call her the lighthouse of knowledge. She's deeply into CBSE functioning and CBSE working. So talking of pedagogy today, one thing which is constant is change. We need to change with the changing time. Nothing is static in this world, so we need to change and we need to evolve. Evolve from a system which is already running, and we'll have to bring in new things again. Somehow when we look at the things, we started during the 𝗙𝗍 time when we had the continuous and comprehensive evaluation system coming up, where children actually had started speaking and they really started participating in various activities. Basically, the focus was on activities. Same thing has come up with now the new education policy coming out with the similar changes. One thing we were discussing just before this panel discussion was only those things are going to stay in the school systems which cannot be replaced by a machine. And we have to focus on those skills. The first skill which we talk of is of collaboration, collaborative learning. And as heads of the institutions, as all educationists, we are sitting over here, two things which I always say is how well can we blend technology, the modern system and the traditional system, a judicious blend of both. At the same time, the role of a teacher, the NEP defines it very well. It has further come out as something which is very prominent after the COVID, when everybody took it as a relief when the children came back and we could have lively classrooms again. COVID was one period which really taught us so many things, and systems have really geared up after that. You know what all advancements we were thinking probably those things are going to take time, just we did it in days. Never thought of Zoom, Zoom came within days we shifted to. So that is the need driven. Now we are also at a threshold where need driven changes have to be there if we want to survive. So with these notes, a beautiful topic has been given to us for the panel discussion. And I would just ask all the panelists to give a quick introduction of yourself so that we can begin with that. Jasdeep ma'am.
Hi. Am I audible? Good afternoon, Jasdeep this side, and I think it's going to be wonderful. Actually, my mentor and whatever she told, so it's okay. And then, as the discussion goes on, we will see. Yes, it's my own school now. I proudly say it's a small venture which I started 2 years back. Not even 2 years. It's a little like seedling, and it's Silver Wings Universal School. I started a foundation school right now from kindergarten till grade 2.
Very warm good afternoon, dear educators. My name is 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲, a very enthusiastic, energetic educator for past 35 years, and currently I am located in Chandigarh. I am the director of AGI Global School. It's a fantastic way for us to learn from one another or religions. Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, 𝗖ecie_HIs_HIs𝗲𝗶𝗷𝗲, principal in UGMP Public School from Ludhiana. I am the founder principal of that school. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Neha from the Unirized World's 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲, and looking forward to exchange ideas and learn a lot of things from all my fellow educators too. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. Rosie from 𝗙cie International School. So let's share the ideas and expand our horizons of knowledge. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Dr. 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲, and I'm director from International Group of Schools. We have a chain of 4 schools currently under the and I'm really honored to be a part of this enlightening session. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Meena Sharma, Principal Golden Nara School. I really want to thank Time2Grow who have arranged such a beautiful gathering for us, for we intellectuals where we truly meet, where we can share our ideas. Really thank you so much, Time2Grow and Mr. Panelists. Really, because your ideas are really enlightening, and when I came to know that you are brand ambassador of 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲 Foundation, my God. See, we know that language is one of the barriers. Out of 7 subjects, if we talk about English, is the only language which they have to do, which they have to get the proficiency. But 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲, these kind of software, AI apps helping the children a lot. Really, thank you so much. Over to Mark. Thank you.
Thank you for your beautiful introductions. We are all as leaders trying to delve deep into various topics. So, to begin with, Jasdeep ma'am, the first question is, how can project-based learning and hands-on activities be used to promote deeper understanding and application of the subject matter?
I will continue with the same topic. No issues about it. Both the merrier. Yes, when we talk about project-based learning and hands-on learning, this we've been doing ages back also. I remember when NCM 2000, we are that generation country, sir, just the NCM 2005, CCE, and now we come to NEP 2020. It's something like the मैंने कार सीखी थी, मैंने मैनुअल वाला सीखा था, then we came here, now I have an automatic car. So we are that who have seen the change. So what happened? We became resilient. लोग बोलते resilience अभी आई COVID में, we were long back. Secondly, we learned. The best part was we unlearned, and then we are relearning. So project based is nothing to worry about. I don't understand why schools and teachers are taking it as a burden. See, ADP बहुत ही अच्छी चीज़ है. आप इसको पढ़ो मजा आता है. It's the best Bible. I call it Bible in my school. And they are back to that Gurukul system. Hands-on में क्या था? Hands-on learning में था जो बच्चे हाथ से करते. Same चीज़ है project based हमने कर दिया. So project based it is not necessary that it has to go with higher grades. The first thing I am saying. You can start with the kindergarten also. Your project has to be according to their level. Right? In one of my schools where I was earlier in K12, now I'm in KG schools, kindergarten, but earlier I was in K12. There I gave a project to one of my class 12s. I used to take economics. It was the life of a transgender, and the second topic I gave was is dark not beautiful. See, with these two topics, they went and met so many people. They interacted with these people. They came to know about them. The project-based learning का main motive क्या है? We want the child to be creative. We want the child to be critical. We want the child to be compassionate. We cannot ignore those skills. So they came up with that. It is not that we call it a black beauty बोलते हैं. So dark is not always ugly. It is beautiful. So and I think when we're talking about project-based math, the major obstacle where I find my teachers or I find myself at times the assessments are not done. हम तभी डरते हैं project-based नहीं मैम time और resources नहीं है. बच्चों को दो ना. हम यही तो सिखा रहे हैं बच्चों को. We teaching them to manage their time management with the resources they have. They need to work on it. I think you will all agree with me. जो resources है बच्चों को दो दिया much better than what we could think. हम वहाँ तक सोचते ही नहीं जिस चीज़ का वो reuse करके कर लेते हैं, right? Second is assessment. Whenever I used to assess, we would give. For 11 years I spent in Cambridge International Journal. That what I am today is all because of my mentor, history professor. So we did an integrated workshop, project that time also. So assessments में what I used to do is we used to ask, we used to see, assess the procedure. कैसे किया? ये नहीं कि रिजल्ट आ गया. आपको कोई प्रोजेक्ट दिया है, आपने उसका प्लान किया, एक्शन किया, रिजल्ट. नो, वो रिजल्ट में जो आपका प्रोसीजर है, आपने वो कहाँ कैसे लेकर आए. दिस इज द रिजल्ट. आई वाज नेवर वरीड अबाउट स्टैटिस्टिक्स बिकॉज़ आई न्यू चिल्ड्रन कैन गेट. ये जो प्रोसीजर है दिस गूगल डजंट गिव. स्टैट्स जो आता है गूगल दे देगा. तो प्रोजेक्ट बेस्ड लर्निंग डोंट टेक इट एज एनीथिंग व्हिच इज हरक्यूलियन टास्क और कुछ मैम. इट्स वेरी इजी. It's only that you as a teacher or we all have to see that we are that skilled enough to assess them. बच्चे तो ले आएंगे, हमें knowledge है. With the project which I gave for transgender and black is not always beautiful, so I had to do a lot of work. Means I had to go to those people, meet them, ask them their problems. So this is it. So hands-on learning भी वही चीज़ है जो project है. Hands-on learning में we do not assess them or with project based they learn time management, they learn problem solving, they reflect. एक बार failure हो जाता है दोबारा करते हैं. It's something like I was seeing in a video few days back on YouTube that the teacher gave them few sticks, straws and those marshmallows and told them to make a tower. वो क्लास में जो बच्चों को जो पढ़ाया गया physics tower नहीं बना. But when it was given as a project to the children, tower दो बार गिरा, marshmallows नहीं गिरे, दो चार marshmallows friends ने खा के लिए वो कम हो गए. And that also they made it. So they understood the angle and how that has to be made. So which learning do you think would be more? So it's not that we don't want the classroom learning to happen. आप जरूर theory दो, but उसकी application base has to be there. So I think both hands-on learning, your project-based learning, depending on the age group, you need to give accordingly. And definitely children become critical, they become critical thinkers, creative, communicative, collaborative, all 4 C's which we require वो करते हैं. उसके बाद problem solvers, risk takers भी होते हैं कि नहीं इसमें से बनाते, चल देखकर देखते क्या है. हम तो ये सिखाते हैं कि बच्चों को risk लेना no, we will give you this, ये वाली चीज़ें कर. So when it is your project-based learning, अपना mindset change करना है हमने. That we are facilitators, we will only show them the road. ये road है, इससे जाना है उसमें बस, और help नहीं करनी हमें. I think I have spoken a lot. Sorry.
Beautifully. It deserves a round of applause.
There is a question from Anand sir.
Question, a comment for the educators. Am I loud enough?
Yes.
Okay. So there's something that I want to add. As educators, you said projects when you talk about the projects. में ना आजकल mothers ज़्यादा करती हैं, बच्चे कम करते हैं.
Project is for the parents, sir.
Yes, and there is a reason for that because our evaluation system, like you mentioned, is wrong. We give the best marks to जो सबसे अच्छा बना हुआ है. उसने भले बाहर से सारा कुछ खरीद के मदर ने असेंबल कर दिया. We give more value to that rather than बच्चे ने कुछ टेढ़ा मेढ़ा बनाया है, न्यूज़पेपर से बनाया और something like that. We should give more value and marks or grades to creativity rather than what looks beautiful. So that is one thing that I want to add.
So we are talking about assessment. I want to go by the procedure. अगर वो बच्चे ने प्रोजेक्ट नहीं बनाया है, the child will not be able to explain where the child went wrong, what were the problems he faced, what were the risks he took. So this is what we want. We don't want the parents to do as educators. We will very easily be able to we can judge. और अब सर वो नहीं था. अब हम सारे टीचर्स हम टाइम वाले होमवर्क को ज़्यादा मार्क्स देते हैं.
I'll just take it from that was very well explained. And I think somehow project-based learning is very close to my heart. I was a principal even 10 years back in a school in Delhi, where the co-founder, if you heard of 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲 schools, one of the co-founders is in US, the other one is American, the other one in UK, is a Britisher. So the school started with PBL, project-based learning. Now we have certain myths about projects. Project is like windmill ka area, volcano ka banake area. That was not project-based learning. So it is like, who is the father of PBL? John Dewey is an American. It all started from the US. US in the corporate world gave projects to the people, and the IT people, they would complete the projects and they would submit. So it's a long process, maybe 3 months old, 6 months old, and you can divide academically 2 sessions, one in term 1, one in term 1. Now, few essentials of project-based learning. Now, what are the essentials? The first and the foremost is need to know. Now, it all comes very organically. We can actually, no teacher, no educator can plan it in advance. It will have to be very spontaneous. So, we need to give trainings to our teachers that how to deal with that topic which comes up all of a sudden. I give you a small instance, like need to know. Kids are very curious. If you are teaching the topic, they are absolutely public to know what it is. So that creating that right environment is the need to know. Second, a driving question, a very curious question. A small child in grade 4 asks, why do we need to preserve vegetables? When we were doing food preservation in grade 4 or 5. So the question arose in the class very why? What is the need to do preservation of food? So that was a driving question which a teacher could not predict in the class, and that became the topic for the project, which is food preservation for term 1. After this, the project, every project allows students voice and choice. Student must have a choice. I can express it in a poetry, I can draw, I can sing, I can do a survey, I want to do a research. So students have their voice and choice and opinion. No teacher must say that this is a worksheet you need to do, this is what. So it's driven by the students. Then all the 21st century skills which you have very nicely put up, like most importantly, 21st century skills, critical thinking, collaboration is one thing. We've seen so many corporate offices like WeWork. It is caught on and very good now, and I think all of the metros have it. WeWork, wherein we work together collaboratively. We don't have an office space, we go there and we are working together as a team. So this PBL, project-based learning, is basically a way toward moving forward towards it. So that our kids, when they grow up, they will be working on independent projects, and this is the process to take them through. After this, after the 21st century skills, now what else should they know? There should be some innovation and creativity also. It cannot be run of the mill. It has to be, projects have to be authentic. You cannot copy a project from any book or steal someone's idea. Because 30 children in a class, when they are speaking and one question comes up, obviously that question is original, not rethought of, not really taken from something. So the authenticity, creativity comes in, and then of course, we have to have a feedback and a review. So wherever the journey has happened, wherever, so every time the children are doing some task, some kind of a review session, a feedback giving session has to be conducted. Last but not the least, project-based learning always ends with a celebration of learning, that is culmination, that is called a project presentation. We invite the parents and we prepare a huge timeline, like day one we started this, then we did this, then we did this. Children share their learning journey with their parents, and it is a big way to celebrate PTM or something. So I got training from the Americans themselves, so I'm so passionate about it. I'm really sorry, maybe the way I'm saying it, it's like this topic is very close to my heart, and that's how we were doing it. And I've tried doing it in a few schools here. We've just started, but we haven't reached there.
One example can you quote? Concrete example which has been a really successful one.
For this?
Yeah.
Food preservation and the second was pollution in Gurugram. Okay. Now I first go to the fourth of the grade. Food preservation, when I said, the students said, why do we preserve food? So now everybody started, there are a lot of discussions which the teacher records, because a parent is going to be telling us, ma'am, 6 महीने का project food preservation, आपने क्या करवाया? So today, like you and I are talking, interacting, unless until it is documented, people will say, पूरा दिन किया ही क्या है? So we need to have those proofs. So people write down, kids get into the habit, okay, who asked this question? They will be shown, we had iPads in that school, not every school has those kind of resources. So you have to Google and see that which are the kinds of vegetables which can be preserved. And for example, peas. When the child went home, it was winter season, took a bowl of peas and put it in the freezer. Of course, it wilted away. Then we made those little pouches, zip pouches, put the bag, peas there, and then of course sealed it up, and we sold those pouches, frozen peas in the PTM and the parents came to small. Food preservation also is pickling. So one day the grannies came in and they said, long time back, winters, like you know, when they have the winter vegetables, gajar, gobi, shallot, everything, and it's not available in summers. So how do we do that? So the pickling started, and she actually demonstrated to the students why oil is added, why this thing, because it helps in preservation. We can use it, the shelf life increases, and we can use those things when we need off-season also. Same goes for amchur, ampapad, all of that, we got those people from these things. So kids got into bottling, kids got into labeling, and they had a mini exhibition, and that's how
Did they go to marketing?
Yes, they did go to marketing.
So just from projects to products.
Yes, yes.
That's nice. That's nice. Very well said, ma'am. And very well, thrown light on further delving deep into the same topic which you wanted, the same thing. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next we have Kanika.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Kanika, your question is, what strategies can teachers use to foster critical thinking, creativity, and problem-solving skills in the schools?
Thank you for the question, ma'am. Firstly, we are living in a modern world. We are living in a modern technology. So the earlier, we are just talking about the project-based learning. As we have discussed, ma'am, project-based learning क्या होता है? जब हमारे टाइम पे प्रोजेक्ट बेस्ड होता था, तब उस टाइम पे हमें प्रोजेक्ट दे दिया जाता था एक स्ट्रक्चर के साथ, और उस स्ट्रक्चर में भी उसको असेस कर दिया जाता था. दिस वाज द प्रोजेक्ट. Now there is a difference between the project and the project-based learning. Now what is project-based learning? Project-based learning जो आज का in the modern teaching method and the strategy teachers are following in the classroom is the project-based models. On-spot situations are given to the students. They think on it. They create their mind. They do everything whatever they want to do. They analyze, they interpret. वो जब सब interpret कर लेंगे, उसके बाद they come up at the solution. Or this method, it work on the critical thinking as well as it also it makes the child creative. इसके साथ साथ बच्चा creative भी बनता है, and the problem solving skills also dwell in the student. One more teaching strategy teachers can adopt is the flipped classroom. Flipped classroom is earlier क्लास में कंसेप्ट पढ़ाया जाता था और जो कंसेप्ट पढ़ाया जाता था बच्चा घर पे जाके पढ़ता था, लेकिन अब वो बिल्कुल रिवर्स हो गया, फ्लिप हो चुका है। अब जो कंसेप्ट है वो बच्चे को घर के लिए दिया जाता है विद द हेल्प ऑफ यूट्यूब लिंक्स। बच्चा घर पे पढ़ता है, अपने थॉट्स क्रिएट करता है, उसके ऊपर अपनी क्रिएटिविटी, उसमें हाउ टू सॉल्व दिस एंड नेक्स्ट डे डिस्कस इन द क्लासरूम। Moreover, we should construct the mindset of the group. Whatever the child has done, उसने जो भी किया है क्लास में, कुछ भी है, just praise the child. उसकी हमेशा this is the also very strategy, very powerful strategy the teacher must follow in the classroom. कि जैसे कि बच्चे ने कुछ भी अगर किया है, you will always motivate. चाहे उसने कुछ थोड़ा किया है, ज़्यादा किया है, and do not come back. एक growth mindset उसका वहाँ पे राइज हो जाएगा। एक्टिव लर्निंग, whatever you are teaching in the classroom, आप कुछ भी क्लास में कर रहे हैं, कुछ भी पढ़ा रहे हैं, मेक श्योर वो स्टूडेंट सेंट्रिक हो, टीचर सेंट्रिक नहीं होना चाहिए। आई नो इन एनी नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी हम सब इस चीज़ को फॉलो कर रहे हैं, सब यहाँ पे बहुत एक्सपीरियंस हैं और बहुत अच्छे से इस चीज़ को अपने अपने स्कूल्स में इम्प्लीमेंट कर रहे हैं। द पॉइंट इज दिस, यहाँ पे कुछ मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि बी का लीडर हमें कहाँ पे काम करने की जरूरत है, इसकी इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के ऊपर काम करने की जरूरत है। स्ट्रेटेजी सबके पास है, पर टीचिंग मेथड्स सब अपने अपने स्कूल में अपने अपने वे से इसको इम्प्लीमेंट कर रहे हैं, लेकिन हमें कहाँ पे काम करने की जरूरत है, हमें काम करने की जरूरत है इसकी इम्प्लीमेंटेशन की। अब इम्प्लीमेंटेशन की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी अल्टीमेटली आती है लीडर्स के ऊपर। एज वी ऑल आर लीडर्स, सेंड योर टीचर्स फॉर द डे। CBSE ऑर्गेनाइज्ड वेरियस कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग प्रोग्राम्स, इतने कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग प्रोग्राम्स हैं और हम ये कह देते हैं कि मतलब यहाँ पे भी हमारा शेड्यूल पैक है, टीचर्स आर नॉट हैविंग टाइम, ये कुछ। आई थिंक दीज आर द एक्सक्यूजेस। व्हाटएवर यू वांट टू डू, इफ यू वांट टू रन इन अ रेस, यू डोंट वांट टू लैग बिहाइंड, आपको अपने टीचर्स को ट्रेनिंग पे भेजना ही भेजना है। मोरओवर टीचर्स को यहाँ पे एक और चीज़ मुझे लगता है, लीडर जो मैं भी करती हूँ, spend most of the time in the corridors, in the classroom. Don't mix it in the office. मुझे लगता है these are the various things and the techniques. If we will follow, definitely the teacher, the way we want, हमारा विजन जो है कि हम हमारी जो डायरेक्शन है, जिस डायरेक्शन से हम दिखाना चाह रहे हैं, टीचर को वो शायद कई बार वो इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के टाइम पे वो उस फेज में वो क्लास की इम्प्लीमेंटेशन नहीं कर पाता। तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है when we will move in the corridor, when we will move in the classroom, when we will more time spend more in the school, in the classroom, not in the office, definitely the way we want, जिस तरीके से हम चीज़ें इम्प्लीमेंट करना चाहते हैं अपनी क्लासरूम्स में और अपने स्कूल में, definitely we are able to. Thank you so much.
Very well. Very well answered. You know, talking of creativity, talking of critical thinking, I think if you talk of creativity, we are all very expert in creating stories. Making excuses again is a creativity only, na? Justifying your excuse. Same with children are doing. Whosoever is good in giving excuses with justification is a very good creative person. Do we identify these creative learners inside the classroom and appreciate them? We only snap them. We are making unnecessary excuses, giving unnecessary explanations. But they are really creative. हम लोग थोड़ा सा घर जाने के लिए देते हुए हम घर वालों को कितनी अच्छी स्टोरी सुना देते हैं। ये हो गया, वो हो गया, ऐसे हो गया, everything is so justified. Aren't we creative? Is creativity something beyond that? The thing is, we don't encourage. Every time we snap, we don't give them a platform for creativity. Throw just 3 words inside the classroom and tell the students to make a story, beautiful stories will come out of the story. They will weave a very, very beautiful story, just divide the class into groups. And each group given 3 words to make a story out of it. They'll come out with radio setting and you can read their minds, what is going on in their minds. So these are certain strategies can be adopted inside the classrooms. One thing again, I reiterate in front of all the learners, please come out of the concept that silent classrooms are the disciplined classrooms. They are not. Silent classrooms means no learning, no creativity. Let's not be threatened by the questions of the children. Let there be collaboration. Let the children be equally involved into it. Ask, I'm just giving you an example. Ask anyone, any of your students from the school and tell them what 2 things you want improvement in your school. The best feedback the children are going to get. The best for the leaders. You want to analyze where your school needs improvement? Ask the children. Have an open discussion with them. They will give you the real feedback which the school needs to do. Thank you, Kanika. Next we have Neha. Neha ma'am, your question is, how can social emotional learning and mental health support for improvement into teaching learning practices?
Good afternoon, ma'am. Thank you for the transition from creative thinking to mental and mental health. Good afternoon, everyone, once again. You know, at a time when India is soaring high among the poverty of nations, and it's making its mark in virtually each and every field on a global platform, it's essential to develop a pedagogy which creates a correct balance and amalgamation of certainly academic rigor, of literacy, maths, science skills, but apart from on mindfulness, self-awareness, critical thinking, mental health, and inner stability, which I think is the need of the hour, and somewhere to make the children technically sound, we are glaringly ignoring it. We have to understand that when we talk about technology and emotions, they are at opposite sides of the spectrum. And while we are making the children digitally equipped, we are making them mentally weak. And it's a fact that children who are more emotionally mature and sensitive are more successful in life because they are able to manage their personal, professional relationships very well. So it's not ironical that today in the educational era, we are talking about developing mental well-being practices into our curriculum, into our school education. I have many times met parents who come to me and who talk about children getting into depression, which takes me by surprise when the parents themselves have undergone various phases of life and they never thought of or had known the concept of depression, but these young children are getting into it. Somewhere we are the culprits. So, in order to make sure that we have a perfect balance of good physical health, socio-emotional needs, and mental health of the children, there are certain things that I have incorporated in my school, and I would love to get ideas from you also. How can we do it better? I have developed a happiness curriculum in my school, taking guidance from the Delhi government, and incorporating practices like mindful breathing. As a pilot project for grade 4, before my pen and paper test, we did mindful breathing exercise for 3 minutes before the children start for the exam. And when we analyzed and monitored the results, I could see a significant improvement in the concentration level of the children, which automatically improved the academic scores of the children as well. We are even doing Om chanting in the morning assemblies, we are doing laughing exercises, and we are telling them the benefits of it so that they can practice the same at home also. Different types of clapping. I read this concept somewhere and I started it in my school that we have a bench in the ground which is painted red, and it's called an empathy bench. So anybody who feels upset, not just a child, it can be a staff member, a faculty member, a housekeeping staff, anyone, even the principal for that matter, would go and sit on the bench, and nobody is going to raise a question. why are you sitting here, what is making you upset, but to just come to cheer you up. Because sometimes all we need is someone to hold our hand and to listen to us and lend an ear to our pain. And that concept is working. We also have dedicated a notice board to kindness of the month, where anybody who has done something good beyond the kindness or anything else, not necessarily monetary help, it could be help of any kind, trying to be compassionate to anyone, again not necessarily in the school, could be outside the school campus also. We post the story over there and we let the rest of the people read it and get guidance from it. And there are many exercises like this. You can have gratitude designing posters with your children, telling them to be thankful for all the blessings and counting the blessings of life rather than getting bogged down by the adversities, which is a part and parcel of everybody's life. I think if we spread positivity like this, we will be able to kindle a generation which will be able to fight this barrier of mental health and not get into the pool of depression or things like this and going to a psychiatrist or a psychologist hearing about suicides and all. We should not be taking the pressure of all these things.
So, every one of us believe in the quote, "Tell me, I'll forget. Teach me, I may remember. And involve me, I will learn." Now take a second and think about it. Whether, I don't know, what does that mean? That means giving students voice, giving them the control over their learning, and let them take the ownership. Whatever they learn, do they know? They can make decision what to learn, how to learn. Are we giving them that kind of autonomy in the learning? And it is being seen, or you all might have experienced, when students have say in learning, then they perform better. Their academic performance enhances. And there are a number of studies which mention that when students got the autonomy by the teachers, they succeed. And contrary to this, when they were leader control, they couldn't do well. Reed has written in a research paper that all the students at all the grade level could succeed when they got the autonomy in terms of behavior, their motivation, their engagement level would increase. And right now, the Neha ma'am has said that mental health of the student is a great concern, and he mentions that even the students' mental health would improved. This is what we are looking forward to. So it plays, autonomy of the students plays a great role. Now the question arises, how we can empower the students to be autonomous. You might have come across the student who just want to follow the teachers. They want just bugging up the syllabi and throw out in the examination, during examination. So why it is so, then what to do? But what can teacher do? So to teach tone, one should know the tone. Vivekananda has rightly said, the teachers, they should, one who can see through the student's eyes, who can hear through the student's ear, who can feel through the student's heart, only can teach, none else. So to encourage their autonomy, we have to create an atmosphere around the child. How we can do that? First of all, the teachers should know what are their perception when they are learning. We should welcome their thoughts, their behavior, their emotions. And thirdly, some of the panelists a panic amongst the students. When we are giving them a project, we should not create the panic amongst the students. So our communication should be very assertive. We should not blame, we should not raise the voice. For instance, the students score less marks in a test, say. I am giving an example I am taking. So what happened? Instead of saying, okay, if you will fail in the pre-board examination, you have to play some music. Instead, we can see it. We can have a compassionate heart toward them and we can ask, I am surprised by seeing your performance. Can you make out, can you reason out what is the reason behind it? Why you scored so low? And how we can improve the scores? We can collectively work towards it. Then the child will not be afraid of you. He will share his problem. These days, why the depression or anxiety is happening? Because the homes are breaking. The social fabric is breaking. So that's why families are breaking. The students are already so much stressed. We should not give them stress. And what else we can do? The teacher should be resourceful. She should have plenty of material like e-books or you can say infographics or videos related to the topics. And then they should know, they should have the knowledge how to collaborate, how to encourage collaborative work amongst the students. Like the strategies are 1, 2, 3, and then what does it indicate? The teacher, the student doesn't want to take initiative. He is afraid, what if I fail? Then 1, 2, 3 is what? First of all, the assignment which I have given, take a minute and read it out. Second, take 2 minutes and discuss with the people. Third, 3 minutes, take 3 minutes, and now what you have to do is, you have to plan what I have to do. Now then what we can do is, we can offer them 3 cups of the different colors, say red, green and yellow. If you think you can do your own, put on the top the green one. It means you are understood the assignment given by the teacher. And if you showcase the red one, it means you need support. I am always available for your support. You can showcase that one. And instead of giving a monotonous project as project-based learning during that panelists has discussed, we should have variety of assignments. Instead of giving a single type of project, we should have the number of assignments for the students, and they should be asked to choose one of their taste. They can choose according to their taste and temperament. This single change can bring a lot of change amongst the students. They can be involved in their learning. They will feel less fearful because that is what they believe they can do. They can answer that. When they believe they can do it, they can achieve. So they can do that also. And if we foster this this student autonomy, then their self-confidence will enhance, their self-efficacy will improve, then they will be able to solve their problems themselves. They will develop problem-solving ability and decision-making ability, which will lead towards lifelong learning. What we want in the end? We want they should be lifelong learners. Whenever this kind of COVID, as Madam was talking, as this kind of problem comes, we can construct our learning and we can deal the situation powerfully. So thank you so much.
Very well said, Rosie. Thank you for your efforts. Next we have Mrs. Parul.
I think the 3 topics we had in the panel were project-based learning, blended learning, collaborative learning. Everything falls under the single umbrella that is experiential learning, hands-on learning, learning together, collaborating. So since period has been talked about at length by our experts already. I'll just shed some light on blended learning and collaborative learning, and I need to tell you all what it is because obviously we all know that. And since this point has been very rightly taken up, let's talk about implementation. We have our guidebooks with us that tell us what is project-based learning, what is blended learning, what is collaborative learning. Now, how to put this into practice effectively is what we need to ponder, think, and do. So I won't take much of your time to just share one little example. So, as I'm serving in the position of a school director, and all the directors, principals, and teachers here, once I have almost had a 10 years experience of active teaching, hence what I entered into management and administration. We hardly get time to step into active classes, meet our children, get to know them. Doesn't really happen, especially with the chair that I'm sitting on. But I've always had that deep desire to know my children, to get to know what's happening at ground zero. What is it that my children really need? What is it that my teachers really need? So I was giving an example, keeping collaborative learning and blended learning inside. So I just recently, I would not say recently, it's a year back, I came up with a program in my school which is called CCD. CCD, and it is not coffee cafe day, it is a coffee chat with the director, which is me. Now what happened, how I am taking it forward is that I have students in grade 6 up to grade 12. We have sections in each class. For my school, it's 4 to 5 sections per class. So I meet each class individually. We have a hall like this. So we have grade 6, for instance. Again, I meet them. In this coffee chat, there are 3 stages. The first one is know me, I know you. We talk at length. It's a very informal kind of a session. It came as a very big surprise for my staff and my children. Now I'm going to talk to them informally. With the children, I said, of course, why not? When a target is stepping down, meeting children, why not directors and principals? So the first is know me, I know you. And then I give them a brief of what we're going to discuss in the next session. The topic that we take up in the discussions is beyond the textbook. It's nothing to do with the academics. It's all contemporary. For instance, with grade 10 when I met last year, we took up the Russian-Ukraine war. The topic is taken in brief. Input is given in the first session. Second session, we discuss the topic length. Now when we're discussing a topic which has nothing to do with science, with maths, with arts, with history, something that is happening around, so what are my children doing here? First, I'm giving them a comfort zone. Second, I've given them something to think about, which they will surely do because I have tried and created an interest. That is my role as a facilitator, as a moderator, as a coach, as a mentor. Because NEP also, with the NEP education policy cycle, the teacher's role has shifted from being a saint on the stage to being a guide by his side. And when I say this, I am by no means belittling the role of a teacher. I think it's more great, it's more profound. Because with the collection of data, with so much of information easily available, it becomes even more important for me, for us as teachers and educators, to serve the right thing on the platter for our children and let them not just have everything that is served. So the children do the research, which is online, which is digital, which is using technology. They get back, we discuss. When we are discussing, we are bringing on the table all the 21st century skills that are spoken about. The first being listening. I should not be saying on this platform, Indians are not really rated high as far as the skill is concerned. Listening is something which seems or sounds so trivial. We all are listening, but I don't know who is listening. So listening is one skill which I definitely tell my children the importance of. And when we get into the process of discussing something which is beyond the text, and everybody starts pouring in their information, you get to everybody's listening. Second and very importantly, being open to perspectives of the others, valuing it and respecting it. when there's say a class of 40, 50, 60 students and we're having a discussion, I might be saying the same thing the 10th time. How many facts we have gathered about Russia-Ukraine war doesn't mean if I'm saying it the 10th time, you don't listen to me. I might be putting it the way I see it, in my own words, with my own perspective, and my own feelings. I may be reiterating the fact, but it's still personalized because I am seeing it. So that is a sense we need to instill in our children at this young, tender, nascent age. That comes along. Third, communication and confidence. Most urgently, most desperately needed. You may have a lot of knowledge up here. Are you putting it forth in the right manner? Are you putting it forth in an engaging manner? You may have valuable input. How many people are listening to it? Are you reaching out to them? So when these discussions happen, that input is also given simultaneously to the children. Now the third session. After we have this particular discussion, I also teach them what is a group discussion, the technicalities, which probably students are taught in their bachelor's, commerce and MBA levels. What is group discussion? You're going to sit for your placement, trying to brush up the group discussion skills. And there, I just bring one little quality which is very important with every technicalities about group discussion. One is, what does it really mean to be a true leader? Because we are discussing the parameters of evaluation. Whatever assignment you're giving to your children, whatever project you are taking up, it's very important for the child to know, what will I be tested upon? What are the parameters? So if you talk about group discussion which will take place in the third session, I tell them what are the areas you need to be mindful of. One such parameter is, I may have all the information about a particular topic. Other side exactly, when you get 10 people sitting here. There's a topic, and I am the only one who knows it. Probably you know a little bit, better, you know a little less. And have you not done anything about it? So my role here, sorry, this is not that. So my role here is, I will not try to prove myself, oh, I know everything, anxious or anything, so obviously I have all of the options within the argument and the discussion. No. My role here as a leader is to handhold. Take my team together. What I know is almost everything. But hand-holding is very, very important. And you know, when children start learning it from this age, when they reach the levels that we all are at, they'll have more peace, they'll have more productive work relationships. And I wouldn't say it's only the work relationships, it's also at micro level, in families, macro levels in organizations, it's everywhere. So these are certain skills which we do not look into when they are classrooms. We need to look into it. Coming back to blended learning, these are the concepts which are taken in the personal presence of a teacher, moderator, coach, mentor, whatever you like to term it. But it is also taken into consideration research. It is also taken to the computer savvy. And please don't get surprised when I say computer savvy, because it will tell you, oh ma'am, even a 6-year-old child sits with a tab and iPad, so what are you doing? What is the difference? Scrolling up and down, liking, commenting, sharing, and research skills. It's entirely different.
That's right.
When you have a topic at hand and you do a little research, it's entirely different. Am I running out of time? Am I running out of time?
No.
Oh yeah. So this is a little example that I gave. So I think I'll just give you rest here. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your wonderful inputs, Dr. Pai. And last of all, we have Ma'am Samira. Ma'am, your question is, what strategies have you found effective for tailoring instructions to diverse learners?
Good afternoon, everyone. The reason behind standing here is that instructions. Truly speaking, nobody wants to listen to instructions. Because this alpha generation, they want respect. So we cannot give instructions to anybody. Diversified. This term means everybody has their individual needs.
Diverse learners.
We cannot cater the needs of all 30-35 children sitting in front of us in a one way. We have to come out. We have to interact. I really love the idea of 𝗙𝗶𝗸𝗲 ma'am. I also do the same thing. Because I don't sit in my office on my chair. I used to communicate with my teachers whenever they are facing the problem. Similarly, as a teacher also, we have to come across our children. We have to ask them. We know that after COVID phase, children lag behind reading, writing skills. What we have done, we have started with extra 40 minutes, reduced some of the lectures from local languages, extra 40 minutes for the students for the reading and writing purpose. Twice a week we are planning games for them, so that they should love to come to school. They don't want to come to school. That is the major problem, especially the rural
Taking them
areas.
back to the traditional games.
Yeah, really. This we are doing. Because we have to plan the strategies according to the generation. We cannot follow the rules which we were following previously. We have to come across the generation according to their needs. So according to that, we have to change our strategies. Till foundation stage means from pre-nursery to grade second, we are following Wednesday no bad days. Children are very happy. There where we are putting onion on the orals, tables. Because they don't know what is the use of a table. As a teacher, we have to ask them to raise the question how, if they are learning the table, what is the reason behind that? They don't know. So these strategies we have to follow to tackle the individual needs of each and every child. Thank you so much, ma'am.
It was wonderful.
This is the only platform where we can share our ideas so that others can also be benefited and they can also improve on this. Thank you so much.
So let's practice the form. So summing up the entire panel discussion, we discussed about, talking of the life of a transgender, that is inclusive education. We talked of difference between listening and hearing now. We talked of divergent thinking. One answer is not there are multiple answers, but we are not giving a chance to our students inside the classrooms. And then we talked of strategies for critical and creative thinking. We talked of happy classrooms. We talked of the importance of appreciation. Children want that. Everybody wants it. We need it. Appreciation brings true happiness inside the classroom. But one thing which we need to actually understand the fact is, Indian education system was the best, and probably in the coming time we have seen the best and we are coming back to our own systems now. Again, it is going to prove to be the best. At the foundational stage, we have worked a lot on the NCF, which has come up, National Curriculum Framework, which talks of Panchkosh, which talks of Panchari. Panchkosh again talks of, first thing is Anandamaya, what we eat. Second is Pranamaya. Pranamaya Kosh again is what we are breathing, how we are breathing, deep breathing and all these things, because mentally if you de-stress yourself is Pranamaya coming up. Then it is Manomaya, your mental health. We are talking of mental health now. We are talking of Vijnamaya, which is academics again. And then finally, all four covering is Anandamaya, which comes out to be the happiness quotient. So these are the 5 quotients we are talking of. Again, the words have been taken from our Vedas only. And then we are talking of Panchari, where how the lesson plan has to be done, how teaching actually has to be effective inside the classrooms. We start with Aditi, we come to Bodh, we come to Prayas, we come to Prayog, we come to Prasad. Finally is the learning outcome coming up. So when we are coming back to our roots now, let's understand one system. Gurukuls was successful. The system stopped. Takshala University till today has been recognized as world's best university where best education was given. At the same time, when we are coming back to our roots now, individualized concept has come up. It's not group learning, it's individual learning, like it used to happen in Gurukuls. We need to identify our learners, different types of learners to be identified. Now all these things is all covered in our education system, provided we need to open up now. We need to actually see around us and adopt these changes. They are not new to our culture, but they have been lost somewhere and we are trying to bring them back into our education system. With this, I thank you. Thank you all the panelists for your wonderful inputs, and thank you everyone for being here. Thank you.